That's what she likes, okay? That's why she's probably fattening him up, because that's part of her kink. I don't know, chat. I'm assuming. Dark Side of the 5 minutes, she's fattening him up to secretary to the Elder Gods, maybe. To the Jetsons, chat. I give my fattened husband to you, floating labyrinthian gods. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games, I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video.
Christmas. Humbug!
It's a Flintstonian twist on a classic story, and it's a Film Advisory Board award winner.
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
But now, my friends, we're going to go ahead and get into this review for a Flintstones Christmas Carol chat. Now, I know you've seen many adaptations of Charles Dickens' original novella, chat, A Christmas Carol. I've read the book. I've seen many, many films. As I said before, my favorite, the best, as we can all say, the best adaptation is, of course, The Muppets A Christmas Carol featuring Mike Cocaine. It's a great goddamn movie, chat. Love it. Love it. All the Muppets, interacting with you got fucking Kermit as Bob Cratchit, chat. You got Miss Piggy as Miss Cratchit. Yeah, you have, oh, thank you, Nia Brownie. Thank you for the 3 biddies. Hey, Christopher. Hey, Jessica. How you doing, hard hands, Nia Brownie? I'm doing very well. Just about to get into my review, talking about the end-all, be-all, best Christmas Carol adaptation. Of course, we all know, chat, is a Muppets Christmas Carol featuring Mike Cocaine. You also got fucking Miss Piggy. You got Gonzo, chat. You got Rizzo the Rat in some nameless role. Chat, he's just Gonzo's helper in the movie. Gonzo actually plays Charles Dickens in the movie, chat. He is the narrator / Charles Dickens. It's odd. It's odd. And then Rizzo's just his gluttonous assistant, chat. Always stuffing his face and drinking the whole time. He represents Vice, chat. He represents Vice in the movie. But it's an excellent film. Absolutely love it, chat. Recently did a commentary for my Patreon. I also love A Christmas Carol, Mickey's Christmas Carol, chat. Wonderful one. Only 26 minutes, but it's great. It fully encompasses the entire novel, chat, into 26 minutes. And it's just great. It's so whimsical. Scrooge McDuck, of course, chat, playing the character that inspired him, Ebenezer Scrooge. How can you not love it, chat? But then there is the third one, chat. There is that third one. When people say, well, other than, those two, which of course we all know are the top ones, chat. What's the third best one? People say, Christmas Carol of George C. Scott. Pick and choose, chat. There's so many different variations of the musicals. Some people say the Jim Carrey one, which, no, I don't like that movie because I don't like the dead-eyed, soulless eyes that stare at me, chat, in that film. It's creepy as fuck. Robert Zemeckis stopped making animated films. It never worked. It's never going to work. And I think he's just done with that now. Thank God. But no, chat. No, the answer to that most important question, what is the third best A Christmas Carol adaptation? As we all know, chat, it's a Flintstones Christmas Carol, chat. Created in 1994, chat. It's a recent one. It's not that old, chat. I guess 27 years old now at this point, but no, back in the day, I saw this when it first premiered, or maybe, I think I was very young, or maybe it was like around the time it premiered, chat. So maybe it was like 1996 or 97 when I finally did watch it and was in rotation, on Cartoon Network, and they were showing all these holiday specials, chat. I remember this one distinctly. I was going, whoa, this new Flintstones episode? It blew my goddamn little child brain, just exploded out all over the place. I couldn't believe it. Mr. Humdinger, thank you so much for the 9 biddies. Oh, God, I forgot about the Zemeckis Jim Carrey. Yeah, it's creepy as hell. It's in the theater. And like Jim Carrey, he did a good job. It's not, I don't blame him. I don't blame any of the actors, chat. It's a familiar story. Doesn't do anything different. The animation, to me, is just ugly. I really don't like his 3D dead-eyed animation. It's just creepy to me. But, chat, I'm a big fan of this movie. I saw this. You should go check. Not because it's adapting Christmas Carol. It's all the other stuff in between. It's all just the weird shit. The stuff. It's like when you think about this movie, it's like it should not exist. It should not exist. Shit. I'm gonna go into the nitty gritty, scene by scene details of it. Chat. It doesn't make any sense. But I have a question for you guys. How many of you have seen a Flintstones Christmas Carol? Chat. The third best adaptation of all time. In terms of Charles Dickens' original novel. That is what I'm curious about. I gotta know, chat. I gotta know. Alex Bernal says, nope, Nia Brownie. Yes, witness, I'm witnessing you, Nia Brownie. There you go, Nia has my back. So you agree it's like one of the best ones. Carlox, I saw this special a long time ago as a kid on Cartoon Network. I think, yeah, we all did. It was a Jim Carrey one? Yeah, everyone forgot about that one. Yeah, with, well, it's the Robert Zemeckis one. Carrey played Scrooge in that one. Mr. Hummer, thank you so much for the 6, but he's never heard of it. Wow, I was like, yes, I've seen it, but I prefer the Flintstones Christmas, where Fred is a mall Santa and Macy Rock. And Macy Rock. And so good, Santa recruits to deliver presents, and it has the elf Inky and Blinky. Well, there you go. I don't remember that one. Maybe I saw it. I don't remember it. Dark Slayer years ago. Guys, we have So. I hardly remember. Never seen it in my life. My big whole wide life. So Money. I think the first thing I saw Jim Carrey one was Vampire. Oh, yeah. Was it Life Sucks or something like that? Something sucks in the title. A lot of sucking going on in that movie. Wind Fox, I don't think I've seen this one. Seen the one with the Jets. Oh, everyone has. Chat, before we get into the details of, a Flintstones Christmas Carol, chat, because the most part, it's a Christmas Carol. I want to talk about the nitty-gritty details in between all the Christmas Carol bits, chat. That's the meat of the movie. That's the meat of the movie. That's where the cartilage, you suck. That's where you suck the cartilage out. Yeah, it's got a lot of protein in there, chat. No, but I want to briefly talk about, I told you there's a lot of sucking now, Brian. You got to suck the bone marrow out of this movie. That's the way it is on my streams, okay? There's a lot of sucking and a lot of sucking the bone marrow to get the protein, chat. Only the best for you. Only the best for you, chat. But I want to briefly talk about the Flintstones or the Jetsons meet the Flintstones. It's a Flintstones meet the Jetsons, because that sounds better to me. Instead of the Jetsons meet the Flintstones. I'm going to go with the Flintstones meet the Jetsons, chat. Even though the Jetsons were the ones to go back to the past. My whole thing is, chat, I don't think that they did go back in the past, chat. Because it's kind of like when you think about that movie in hindsight, chat, like it's a crossover between two of Hanna-Barbera's, family shows, right? Like they're literally about dysfunctional families, chat. And they were very fun for the time. They're classics. There's no doubt about it. I grew up watching the Jetsons and Flintstones. But so they're like, okay, when are they going to cross over, chat? Because obviously you would think like thousands of years separate them and everything. And the Jetsons, they built somehow they crossed over to time. They had a time machine and they crossed over and they interacted with Flintstones and Fred went to the future. It's like the typical shenanigans. It's, you're unfamiliar environment, chat. You don't know where the hell you are, and you have to acclimate to the society that you're in right now, chat. It's the duck out of water experience. That's pretty much what it is. But my whole thing is, chat, I think what makes it cool, because it's a fan theory, it's gone on for a lot, for a very long time among fans, and it's been shared probably in other people's streams and YouTube discussions and things, chat. But my whole thing is, I don't think the Jetsons actually use a time travel device, chat. Instead, they went below the cloud shit, because as we know in the Jetsons, they live in these giant almost like satellites, chat, above the Earth's atmosphere, above the cloud line, chat. And my whole thing is, I think there was like a nuclear war or some sort of plague that wiped out humanity, chat, but there were some survivors. The thing is, because, maybe it was an EMP went off and it disabled old technology, chat, and they formed like a new way of life on the surface of the planet, chat. And this is the Flintstones, okay? It doesn't take place, chat, in the past at all. It's in the future. The Jetsons and Flintstones are happening at the exact same time, except on the surface of the planet, chat. They've turned into a very Neolithic. They've gone back to a Neolithic society, chat, and they're trying to rebuild society, but they still have these vestiges of the original culture came before. And that's why this movie makes sense, chat, because the only way this movie is going to make sense. Because, most of these societies are happy at the same time, so we had that crossover, chat. Because when I say Flintstones Christmas Carol, chat, what's the thing that contradicts it, chat? It's fucking, the fucking Flintstones takes place during the Stone Age, right? The thing is, though, chat, that's BC, baby. That's before JC, Jesus Christ himself. So how the fuck are they celebrating Christmas, chat? It's all fucking good. Let me tell you, listen, chat, I'm taking your hand. We're going on this journey together, all right? That's the way it is. So it has to be this, chat. It's like this is future. They're both existing in the future, chat. Both happening at the same time. And the Flintstones obviously have records of this messianic figure, chat, known as Jesus. Okay, and that's why they celebrate Christmas, chat. That's what it's all connected. Because otherwise, why would they be celebrating Christmas? It doesn't make any fucking sense. And so that's why the Jetsons and the Flintstones are taking place at the same time. They're in tandem with each other, chat. That's why they had the crossover to say, like, no, both these are taking place. And the Flintstones, that's the vestiges of civilization that survived a nuclear or war or some type of plague, chat, that wiped out most of humanity on the surface. And then you had humanity escaping to the clouds, chat. Those are the people that have all the accoutrements of modern day and futuristic technology. See, I thought about this shit, chat. And that's why I need to talk about Flintstones Meet the Jetsons, chat, before a Flintstones Christmas Carol, chat, so it makes all sense. Because people are going to say, like, wait a minute, but that doesn't make any sense. If Jesus, came after Flintstones, there you go. It's all taking place at the same time, baby. I told you, chat, I'm Xavier. Take that, Marvel. Goddamn right. Hanna-Barbera built a cinematic universe, chat. They fucking killed it. They killed it. They prayed Jesus Stone. That's right. Oh, my God. No, I'm not high, man. I'm not crazy. You're crazy, chat. I gotta make sense of these things for these reviews, okay? People are asking me these questions and things. I gotta present the facts, chat. I presented the facts, and now we may continue on with the review, chat. Now, I saw this, again, when I was a very little kid. I remember liking it a lot. I mean, this is a little fun special, and probably haven't seen this since, like, 1997 or 1998, chat. I was definitely under 10 when I saw this, and so that was, Jesus Christ, 21, possibly, 20 years ago, chat. It's great. Maybe I saw this when I was 9. Could not tell you. Could not remember. It's definitely around that age. And so to see this again, I was like, oh, yeah, I remember this scene. Remember that scene? So it was like, oh, it's like a nice little walk down memory lane, chat, for the Flintstones. Because like a lot of people, I grew up on these cartoons. I watched Hanna-Barbera, chat, whether it was, again, Scooby-Doo or Wacky Races or the Jetsons or the Flintstones, chat. I watched all that stuff, growing up. You always watched the various specials they had because they always came on Cartoon Network, chat. And Cartoon Network was like, okay, we got to fill these fucking time gaps up. Just throw all the old cartoons in there. And I think that's how a lot of us were exposed to this stuff, chat. And then this is one of my exposure, shit. A Flintstones Christmas Carol exposed itself to me, chat, and like many childhood traumas, it stuck with me. It stuck with me, chat. My chat, the film opens up. And Bedrock is preparing, chat, for Christmas. It's like a day until Christmas, chat. We're on Christmas Eve right now, and all Bedrock is aflutter, chat. They're putting up decorations, chat. They got goddamn Santa Claus. He's begging people for money, but people don't give a shit about Santa Claus. They don't give a shit. They want to get to the mall so they can buy things, chat. Even in Bedrock, chat. Even in this because I'm not saying the Stone Age, chat. It's post-apocalyptic. Even this post-apocalyptic society, chat. Christmas has become corporatized and commercialized to the nth degree. And they're passing by Santa as he's just fucking begging, hoping to get some money for the poor. They're like, nah, we got to buy all these dresses and animals that we can enslave, chat. A lot of animal enslavement in this episode, chat. They're used as household objects. Anything from garbage disposals, chat, to even the most simplest of things, chat. A button on the collar of your shirt. It's crazy the world we live in, this post-apocalyptic dark society that is the Flintstones, chat. But after all this is going on, chat, we of course transition to the Flintstone estate, chat, the home of Fred and Wilma Flintstone, chat. And Wilma is looking hot. I'm sorry, chat, but it's true. Wilma is one of the most attractive cartoon characters out there, chat, especially during the 1960s when the series first came out. Everyone's like, oh yeah, Wilma's the one. But some people say Betty. I'm like, nah, man, give him the redhead. That's the one, chat. She's got that white dress. Hanna-Barbera always drew his women like very curvy. She's like got an hourglass shape, chat. You got to give it to her. You got to give it to her, chat. Wilma looks excellent. Why would she go with someone like Fred, chat? I have no idea. I just don't understand it at all. And also, I just love everyone fucking Bedrock has like a very thick New York accent, chat. He's like, Wilma, where the fuck are my goddamn shoes? I can't go to fucking work without my shoes. My feet, look at the blister. And oh god, like everyone sounds like that. I just love it. Everyone sounds like a version of Joe Pesci, chat. Either a deeper voice Joe Pesci or like a higher pitched Joe Pesci. That's what everyone sounds like in this goddamn series, chat. But the Flintstone household, chat, there's a lot of excitement going on right now because Wilma, she is the stage manager for the Bedrock town play, chat. She's a stage manager. They're going to be doing an adaptation of Charles Dickens. I don't know if they have like some Flintstones name for him, chat. Maybe they have Charles Dickbone or whatever. And his Christmas Carol. They're going to put it on for everybody in the town. And Wilma, she's got the very important job. She's a stage manager. It's been hard on her though because it's right now, chat, they have the bedrock flu. A bedrock flu has been going. Look how appropriate, chat. A goddamn plague is afflicting the city of Bedrock, chat, and it's very contagious, and no one's fucking wearing masks, chat. Not even fucking Wilma and Fred. It's like, wear your goddamn mask, 6 feet, and it's very irresponsible. I'm gonna tell you right now, chat. It's very irresponsible to put on this play in the middle of a goddamn pandemic. Okay, you thought, why is Chris doing this review today? Because it's important. It's important, chat, because this is a lesson to you. This movie should be shown to children around the world and say, like, listen, if you have a worldwide pandemic and a flu that is highly contagious, maybe it's not best. Maybe it's not best to put on a play for the entire town where people are literally sitting elbow to elbow, thick thigh to thick thigh, chat, and people smooching and touching and groping on stage. Maybe they shouldn't do that. But lo and behold, Bedrock didn't give a shit, chat. They're a post-apocalyptic society. They don't even know what the fuck medicine is at this point. They're just fucking hitting two rocks together and praying to their, the floating, labyrinthian gods in the sky. Little do they know, chat, that that's the Jetsons. It's fucking crazy. Dark Side of the 5 shit. Even kids program had a plagues and viral. It did, and this episode did. So, but Fred, he's got a big head about himself. Like, well, Wilma, she's trying to balance everything, Chad. She's fucking cooking and cleaning. But I like it. They changed this up because it's like a little modern. So Wilma's not doing a lot of cooking and cleaning this, Chad, but she's just preparing for the play. She's got a lot of responsibilities. A lot of her staff is getting sick at this point. But she's also trying to take care of Pebbles, too. Little baby Pebbles, Chad. By the way, Chad, another before I put the pin in, remember that series where Pebbles and Bamm-Bamm were in college and they got married and then Pebbles got pregnant, in college? Remember that series? That was fucking weird, right? And then she had twins and things. And even though Wilma and Fred, never aged, they're like grandparents. Remember that shit? I remember that shit, chat. I think that series was going on before this, in the 80s or something. Like, they tried to reboot Flintstones, except, for the young, hip crowd, chat, Gen Z. I was like, what the hell is going on here? But I just remember that, chat. Yeah, that sounds horrifying. That's what they did. Fucking Bamm-Bamm. He Bamm-Bamm Pebbles in college. He bammed her, chat. He bammed her, got her pregnant. They're like, Mom, I gotta tell you. It was weird. I think also, they're in a rock band too. They a rock band, and they did that afterwards when Pebbles was pregnant. They started a music group, and it was highly successful, chat. It was fucking weird. It was a fucking weird show. But again, it's okay dealing with, teenage pregnancy and things like that. Shit. I was like, wow, Flintstones, you're really modernizing this. It's kind of cool. It's like, hey, but Hanna-Barbera took a risk. They took a risk. They did something different, chat. More power to them. I just remember that this is just odd. This is very odd, chat. Cocaine. It was cocaine. Bedrock's #1 export, chat. But Wilma, she's working on this play, and Fred, he's got a big fat head about himself. Not normally, because he already has a big fat bloated head. Because Wilma's got to stop feeding Fred. She has fattened him up for so many years, chat. He has gout at this point. He's got the diabetes. He is one meal away from being B-word fat. Just that's how close he is from B-word fat, chat. So stop feeding him, Wilma. My God, is she a feedie? I don't know, chat. Is she a foodie? I'm not sure. But he's got a big head, chat, because he has been cast as Ebenezer Scrooge, except that he's taken out bone, right? Get it? Ebenezer Scrooge and A Christmas Carol. And he's very excited about it, Chad. He's been practicing all of his lines for 2 months. They were giving all these parts back in October, Chad, and now he got the part. He's so excited, and he's just been thinking about nothing but this play, Chad. And he's been neglecting his various responsibilities, Chad, both at home and at work. And Wilma's just kind of had it up to here at this point. She was happy for Fred because he got the part. He was vying for it, Chad. He's really excited. But after a while, he's got a big of an ego, Chad. We know Fred does typically. And he's just being rude. He's neglecting his responsibilities as a father and a husband. Wilma hasn't had hot, sweaty Fred sex, chat. When you've been denied hot, sweaty, flabby Fred sex, chat, you're going to be a little on edge, okay? That's what she likes, okay? That's why she's probably fattening him up, because that's part of her kink. I don't know, chat. I'm assuming. Dark Side of the 5 minutes, she's fattening him up to secrets to the elder gods, maybe. To the Jetsons, chat. I give my fattened husband to you, floating labyrinthian gods. But anyway, it's vibing you, yeah. So, she's like, Fred, can you please help me with all these things? But he's ignoring her, chat. He just wants to concentrate on all his lines. And she's like, okay, listen, Fred, you're going to be late for work. He was like, oh my God, I am almost late for work. And he's going out the goddamn door. And Wilma's like, Fred, aren't you forgetting something? He's like, oh my God, you're right. And he's like, my lunch. And he gets his little lunch pail. She's like, no, you idiot, no. our daughter that I fucking birthed between these thick white milky white thighs. And he's like, oh yeah, so what do you want me to do with her? He's like, take her to cave care. Instead of daycare, Chad, it's called cave care. Get it? It's fun. And he's like, all right, but then, Chad, Pebbles did a boom boom, Chad. She pooped. She pooped, and Fred's like, Wilma, I can't concentrate. I gotta remember my line. She's like, fine. And so Wilma changes Pebbles, Chad, and we see like this little bird in place of like a pin. Remember those old pins like put on diapers and things like way back in the day? Well, she has a bird, like, and he's like, it's a fucking living, as he's smelling Pebbles' poops. And so she takes him, she throws the other one out that's been used. It died, Chad, as soon as Pebbles did a boom boom. And Fred takes little Pebbles, Chad, and he goes to work, drops her up at cave care, Chad. And he, gives her to the teacher and everything. And, teacher's like, Mr. Flintstone, how you doing? He's like, I'm doing great. I'm going to be casting the play as Ebenezer Scrooge. And she's like, well, that's wonderful. Actually, I just want to, talk to you for a moment about Pebbles right now, how she's kind of acclimating to cave care. He's like, sorry, I can't do it. I'll talk to you later, Teach. And he fucking takes off. And Pebbles is like, Dad, don't go. And the teacher wanted to talk to her about this because she's often very, very sad when either Wilma or Fred drops her off. And so she's kind of hard to acclimate. But thankfully, chat, Bamm-Bamm's there. And he's like, Bamm-Bamm, Pebbles. And, her and Bamm-Bamm, they're friends. And so, they relax each other, Chad. It's all good. And the teacher's is upset. She's like, I gotta call fucking Mrs. Flintstone to let her know about the situation here. It could have tragic consequences on Pebbles' fragile baby mind. That's the last thing we need right now is anything bad happen to Pebbles. She's adorable. Her and Bamm-Bamm, Chad. But Fred, he's pulling in the work, Chad. He's pulling into work at this point, and he's ignoring everybody, Chad, just reading all his lines as Ebenezer Scrooge. Everyone's saying, oh, how you doing, Fred? He's like, bah humbug. And he's like, well, what a Scrooge. He's like, yes, I am indeed. That joke is done multiple times throughout the movie, chat, and it's not funny. It's not funny. It's funny the first time. After that, it's like nothing makes a joke funny is when you repeat it over and over and over and over and over again. No, it's not true. Unless it's something very particular. Most often does not. He goes in there. He's fucking knocking people over, Chad. And the thing is, like, Fred works at a quarry, Chad. That's like a lot of mechanical equipment, a lot of heavy machinery, okay, a lot of dinosaurs, Chad. And it's dangerous, okay? So he's fucking breaking codes and everything by, trapezing over the place, putting people's lives at risk just because he's got a big ego. He got cast as Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol. It's shitty. Even Bonnie's like, Fred, you better stop doing that. You're going to hurt all these people. He's like, how you doing, Bon? And they're talking everything about the play. And Mr. Slate, he comes in, and he's telling all the guys, like, Mr. Slate, he's like, Flintstone, you're late again for work. He's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Slate. I've been practicing my lines for the play. He goes, oh, I understand, Flintstone. I totally understand. I too have been cast in the play, but not as the lead role. It's like, don't push your luck, Fred, okay? You and Mr. Slate are bonding right now. Don't push your fucking luck. He's like, I think I would have made an excellent Ebenezer Scrooge, but instead you're Jacob Marley, or they call him something else. They have another Flintstones version name for him, chat. And he's like, well, I would have done great, but I just wanted to tell you all that I'm giving you all a half day. So after your lunch break, you can come home and celebrate Christmas with your family, have over a nice long weekend. And they're like, oh, thank you, Mr. Slade. You sure aren't a Scrooge. He's like, I'm not a Scrooge, but I would have liked to have played Scrooge. And Mr. Slade's not a Scrooge, Chad. He's just, he's just trying. This is his fucking business. And fucking Fred and Bonnie are constantly putting in danger, Chad, with their fucking shenanigans. I'm never mad at Mr. Slade, Chad. No neck having motherfucker. God damn right. But I'm never. He doesn't have a neck, does he? But I'm never against Mr. Slade. He's just trying to run a goddamn business, and Fred is a lazy fat fuck, and he's always messing things up. All right, it's not Mr. Slade's fault. And in case in point, this next scene, chat, because then we cut, and, Fred, he's like, oh, so leave me plenty of time to memorize my lines of Bond. Because even Barney, chat, he's been cast in the play, and he's playing Bob Craggett, chat, instead of Bob Cratchit. It's Craggett, see, because it's a riff. But Fred, we're operating heavy machinery. We might hurt somebody. Fred can give a shit less. And he starts doing all these lines of Barney. Barney's just concentrating on the task at hand, chat, his work. You're fucking working Brachiosauruses, chat. That's a lot of stuff to deal with at that point. And Fred, he drops a whole bunch of goddamn cement and snow and shit on Bunny. He's like, Fred, what are you doing? You trying to kill me? Everything ends with a laugh with him. I think it's a tick. I think it might be a tick, chat, with Bond. Thank you, KD, for the 5 minutes. Chris, you should review the Flintstones Viva Raw Vegas. I think I will. I think I might have to. I'm enjoying doing this review so much. I'll have to review all. There's a shit ton of Flintstones movie, chat. I looked down. I was like, how many Flintstones movies are there? Many. There are close to... God, there are so many Flintstone special chat. Looks to be well over a dozen. Well over a dozen chats since 1977. So we got quite a few. Deus, welcome to stream. A prize for being mean. The winner would be him. How appropriate, chat, with Ebenezer Scrooge. Chris Scrooge there, chat. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Dave. Hope you're doing very well. Currently doing a scene-by-scene breakdown of a Flintstones Christmas Carol. They is, though, chat. So Fred almost, like, killed Bonnie. And he's like, I'm sorry, Bon. I'm just trying to memorize my lines. He's like, oh, you're going to kill it, Fred. And thankfully, chat, lunchtime is called. And they're eating their lunches, chat, and join. Also, Fred kills his Brachiosaurus, chat, because he accidentally makes the Brachiosaurus swallow some snow and cement. And it solidifies in the Brachiosaurus's neck. And it goes, and it chokes to death. It's fucked up. The thing dies on the scene. She's like, what the hell is going on? And the poor thing dies right there, chat. Mid's fucking swallow. But after that, Fred and Bonnie, they're eating their lunches. And, Bonnie's like, I'm going to go, after I finish my lunch, I'm going to go down to the town hall and prepare for the play. Good thing I got those presents already ready. What'd you get for Wilma and Pebbles? And, Fred's like, presents? Oh my God! He didn't buy them any presents yet. He's been so self-absorbed in his role as Ebenezer Scrooge, chat, he forgot to buy presents for his wife, the person who front pooped out his child, Pebbles, chat. So neglectful, chat. So selfish and neglectful. He's like, oh, Jesus Christ, Bond, I forgot to get them gifts. And he's like, Fred, you should go to the mall and buy them some gifts. And he's like, Barney, that's exactly what I'm going to fucking do right now. And he goes off, chat. He's like, I still have time before I get to the play. And he goes to the mall, chat. The thing is, it's in the middle of a goddamn shopping spree, chat. So every single thing he fucking goes for either Wilma, especially Wilma, chat, is just taken off the goddamn rack. She's like, shit. Until he's like, he just takes one of the mannequins, chat, because he sees a nice, very curvaceous dress. Fred also got this gift for himself because he just wants to see Wilma just strut into a room just going, how you doing, Mr. Flintstone? He's like, Wilma, my God, you look like a hot piece of meat right there. He's doing it for himself too, chat. And he buys her this black and white dress, chat, and it hugs every single curve, chat. I know what he did. Gets her a saber-tooth necklace, too, chat. Saber-tooth necklace. Very, very expensive since they're going extinct now, those saber-tooth tigers. And he just buys the fucking mannequin, too. He's like, oh, here you go. And he puts it on his credit card, chat. So Wilma, when she checks the goddamn credit card bill next month, when it goes over to January, she's just, you literally bought this at the last goddamn minute, Fred. Jesus Christ. But he doesn't give a shit, chat. And then he also buys a little, like a pig dinosaur. I don't know what the hell it is, chat. It's like a warthog pig dinosaur for, what was it called? Porkascular Park, because it's like Jurassic Park. It's Purassic Park. That's what it's called. Purassic, get it? Because it's a pun. And so he buys that. And, he's like, well, I need to get these gift wrap. I have fucking I have two left thumbs. I can't do this myself. And the gift wrapping station, chat, it's just, oh my God, it goes out the goddamn door. He's like, shit. But thankfully, chat, there's this one little boy on hand. This is his first job. And he's great at the gift wrapping, chat. He's really good. He manages to do it fast, does it with quality, chat. Everyone's giving him tips. He's a great kid, chat. Doing all these things. Like, Fred is like the last one. Fred's like the last one line before you got to get over to the goddamn play, the town hall, chat, before you can, get in costume, everything. The thing is, though, it's like it's closing time at the mall because it closes early on Christmas Eve, and the kid's like, hey, Mr. Flintstone, listen, how about this? I got to stay out. I got to, close up the shop anyway. I'm going to do this for you. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and wrap these presents for you, and when you're finished with the play, you can come back and get them. No question about it. I'll be sure to, I'll be sure to have them here for you, all right? And you can even pick them up in the morning or something. And, Fred's like, I like you, kid. And Fred, he takes off. He's super late for the play, Chet. He goes to the goddamn town hall, and they're all putting everything together, Chet, except more and more people, Chet, are getting sick with the bedrock flu. And so nothing is better than a huge fucking gathering of people so we can all get fucking infected. It's stupid, Chet. And Wilma, she's stressed out. She's stressed out because something really bad has happened, Chet. Something really bad has happened. She's upset about it. Fred arrives at the play, Chet, and, he goes like, hey, Wilma, I'm here for wardrobe. She's like, Fred, how could you? He's like, what? What did I do? And then he sees little Pebbles and Bamm-Bamm. They're playing and everything. Barney's like, oh, shit, Fred. You fucked up, Fred. You fucked up. And he's like, didn't you forget something? Didn't you forget something? And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, goddamn Pebbles, you forgot to pick up Pebbles from Cave Care, okay? I told you to drop her off and to pick her up. You know I have to come over here and do the stage managing, all right? The only reason why she was the last person there, and Barney went back and got her, okay? And, he's like, Barney, he's like, I'm a good father, Fred, I can help it. And he's like, Wilma, look, she's happy, she's fine. She's like, Fred, I don't want to fucking deal with you. Shut the fuck up. Get in the costume. And he's like, oh, Jesus, God, it's not going great. Chat. Almost definitely gonna have Fred for his boss. They should have. Mr. Slade's a much better person, Chat. Yeah, I fucking said it. Much better person, Chat. Drew's impression of Barney sounds like a lot like Yogi Bear. It goes back and forth. James goes back and forth, James. I think was it the same voice? It might have been the same voice actor. But he gets in the wardrobe, Chat, and everything. And also, he meets some of his co-stars, Chat. See, one of his co-stars, Chat, is Maggie, and she is this blonde Marilyn Monroe bombshell, Chat. She's one of the most beautiful women in Bedrock, Chat. And she plays Ebenezer's former fiance, Chat, Belle. And she's like, Mr. Flintstone, do you want to practice your lines? And she's like, hell yeah, I do. Yabba dabba do. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. 9 months, speaking of babies, shit. What's the name of this Twitch baby, Steve, that we just front pooped out? Dude, congrats to us. What should we name our baby? You come up with the name, Steve. You have the choice. You have to do the choice, my friend. I leave all name rights up to you. Male blank voice, Barney, and Dawes Butler voice. Look at that. There you go. Confirm, shit. Thank you, James. Thank you, James. My voices go back and forth with each other. But, man, she's like, bah-nah-nah-nah. She's just doing all her lines, and they're about to do a kiss. Like, Fred's like, let's do the kiss now, Maggie. And Woman's like, and she fucking puts her goddamn thing in between Ebenezer and Maggie's like, no, get your ass out on stage. And he's like, oh, shit, sorry. And so he goes out on stage, Chad, and he's right there. They got the fucking spotlights on him. They have the band playing, the Christmas Carol and all that shit. And he turns around, Chad, faces the crowd, and fucking has stage fright, forgets his lines and everything. He's like, oh, my God, there's so many people. I got the vapors. He can't help himself, Chad. But then Wilma fucking throws his cane at his head and hits him so goddamn hard, Chad, that jolts it. And he starts remembering all his lines, Chat. And they kind of do a couple changes, Chat. It opens up with the burial of Jacob Marley, his former partner, Chat, and Marley and Scrooge Lending Company, money lending company. And he bah, fuck him. And he goes back to, and then it's the typical fucking Christmas Carol shit, Chat. Thank you, Chris, for the 5 biddies. What's up? I know you did 2 Toompos, and I know Spectacular Spider-Man won the second one, but won the first. That, my friend, was Harley Quinn. Good series, by the way. Excellent series. But it's typical Christmas Carol shit from here on out. He goes to, Scrooge, money lending service, Chat, where we have Bob Craggett, played by Barney, Chat. And, the host's like, oh, hi, how you doing, Mr. Scrooge? Can't break that fucking laugh. It's a goddamn tick he has, the tick, Chat. And he's like, Barney, they keep messing each other's lines up because they keep calling them by their real names. And he says, Craggett, have you used any of the coal today? It feels warmer in here than usual. He goes, I haven't, sir. I haven't done that at all. And so he's like, you better not have. I'll take it out of your salary. He doesn't give a shit, Chad. I was like, he'll take literal coal out of your salary, Chad. But then Uncle Scrooge's nephew, Ned, he enters the picture, Chad. And I've never seen this character before, Chad. He's a very handsome resident of Bedrock, Chad. Old lady's like, ooh, those swing over him. How could you not, man? Now that's the person Wilma should go for, Chad. That guy. Get yourself a young man, Wilma. All right, get yourself a nice young man. You deserve to spoil yourself, honey. And He comes in there and he wishes, of course, a Merry Christmas to Bob Craggett, Chad, and to his uncle. But fucking, Ebenezer, Chad, is like, Merry Christmas. How can I fucking spend it? He's like, oh, come on, Uncle. Now's the time for merriment and goodwill, and kind tidings between men and women. He's like, I can't fucking sell that shit. I only care about things if I can make a profit for him. He's like, oh, Uncle, why you gotta act this way? And he's like, he wishes, his uncle Merry Christmas. Tried to invite him to dinner to see his fiance. His wife, actually, don't say fiance in the special for some reason. It's his wife. And he's like, I don't care a damn about that hush. She's going to rob you blind. You're already poor to begin with. Oh, why do you say such things, Uncle? Well, you're still welcome in our humble abode. And he leaves, chat. And yeah, of course, the two people who are begging for the collection, not collection agency, chat, but for the poor, helping them out and everything. Make sure they have warm meals and blankets and clothing throughout the New Year, chat, working for the poorhouses and things. And, they're asking for money, a donation from Scrooge Lending Services, but he says, fuck, I don't need that. And he fucking puts coal in their goddamn, hats and goes, get on your goddamn way. You can warn them with that. And they're like, you're an asshole. He's like, goddamn right, I'm a Scrooge. And they leave. And of course, Bob Craggett, Chad, he's just asking, hey, he's like, listen, Ebenezer, Mr. Scrooge, you mind if I take a half day off since it happens to be Christmas? And he goes, God, if I could make money on Christmas, I would. Fine, but you better come in early the very next day. He's like, I sure will, sir. And he leaves, Chad, he leaves. And Ebenezer, he makes his way home. Jay makes his way home. But I also like how they have like Bedrock all done up in like Christmas themed stuff. And like, it's a weird combination between like modern, Victorian, and Stone Age, and post-apocalyptic, chat. It's like, there's a lot of clashing aesthetics, chat. I dig it, though. I really do dig it. Eventually, of course, he goes home, chat. He goes home, but he has visited someone after he enjoys some saber-tooth gruel, chat. That's bone marrow. That's the bone marrow from the saber-tooth, chat. Disgusting, yes, but healthy, most certainly, chat. But he is haunted, chat, by his former partner, Jacob Marley, chat, played by Mr. Slade. And Mr. Slade's like, Scrooge, you shall be haunted by 3 spirits. He's like, can you just have them haunt me all at once? I don't want to fucking deal with it right now, Mr. Slade. I mean, Molly. And he's like, no, they're going to come at the stroke of midnight, okay? And you got to deal with all of them one at a time. He's like, God damn it. I don't want to deal with it right now. And so Scrooge, he goes to sleep, chat. And that's the end of Act 1. It's the end of everyone's like, yeah. Everyone's like praising Fred's performance and everything, chat. They're loving him. They're loving him at this point. He's doing a great goddamn job. Then we cut behind the scenes. Wilma is still pissed off at Fred. Like, he's like, Wilma, why are you so mad at me, okay? The play's a big success. Everyone's liking it. And she's like, yeah, it's a big goddamn success. Good for you, Fred, okay? I'm doing a lot of things right now, okay? I have some actors who are sick. So we got to double up on performances now, okay? So, no, you keep thinking about yourself because you're not going to think about me. You're not going to think about your daughter. Not going to think about your friends. Just think about yourself, Fred. And she goes out. And he talks to Barney, and he's like, Barney, didn't you see him? The crowd loved me. And he's like, I think they loved all of us, Fred. Nah, Barney, you were okay. You were fine, but no, me, I'm the main player. And they're like, Fred, you got a big head, Fred. I got a big fucking head. And he fucking leaves shit. He's just as upset as Wilma at this point. He's just done with Fred's ego. But, chat, the next act is to begin. So they get prepared and everything. Fred, he gets in the bed. He gets in the bed, chat. But, oh no, something's wrong, chat, because the ghost of Christmas past, for some reason, she's late. And they're like, what the hell's going on? And they go to her room, chat. Apparently, she has the bedrock flu, chat. She's vomiting, chat. Her throat has swelled up, chat. She looks like she got that George Lucas throat. She got that George Lucas throat, chat. It's like my pouch. It's when my babies are kept. All the babies are in there, chat. She looks awful. And they're like, holy shit, she needs to be on stage, like, right now, like, within 60 seconds. And Betty, she does all the makeup for other people. And she's like, Wilma, you're the stage manager. You know all these parts, front to back. Do you think you could play this role? And she's like, oh, God, I mean, that's another thing to do. Sure, okay, suit me up, Betty. And she suits Wilma up, chat. Of all that shit. And it's funny because Wilma's just like, how the hell am I going to fit into this dress? Because it's like super small. And Betty's like, girl, you're going to fucking kill it in that goddamn dress. And she fucking puts Wilma into this thing, chat. And then she sends her out on stage. And then Fred, he's actually physically falling asleep, chat, because he's so obese that he just, as soon as his head hits a pillow, boom, he's just fucking sleeping at that point. And so Wilma actually has to grab a goddamn slab of concrete and just smash it over his head, chat, to wake him up. And he goes, oh, and what he sees, chat, is a very curvaceous, big-bosomed Wilma, chat, as the ghost of Christmas. He's like, oh my God, Wilma! I mean, the ghost of Christmas Past. She's like, yeah, how you doing? Listen, I'm going to show you all the shitty things you used to do when you were a husband. I mean, when you were a young man. And she's like, okay. And they take him, chat, to his past. The first thing he sees, chat, as we, from the original Christmas Carol, the schoolhouse, chat, when Scrooge was going to boarding school, chat, all his friends and everything were going home for the holidays, but Scrooge, whatever it was, him and his father did not get along, chat. He often spent many of his Christmases alone at the boarding school. But he is visited by his sister Fanny, chat. Fan, which I'm like, oh, you always calling her Fanny. Why would you name your daughter Fanny, chat? That's just ripe for mocking in school. Very odd. Very, name of its time, chat. Name of its time, I guess. And she comes there. She's like, no, Ebenezer, no. I came here because I want to make sure that you don't spend Christmas alone. He's like, Father doesn't want me. He goes, no, Ebenezer. He's changed so significantly since your time apart. As he's gotten older, he's understood that he was too hard on you, and he wants you to come home for Christmas. I even asked him, it's like, Father, wouldn't you like to see Ebenezer? He's like, I would. I've made many mistakes, and I have to ask him for his forgiveness. And he's like, really? And she's like, of course. And he's like, oh, what joy, what joy. And they get on the goddamn sledgehammer being driven by some triceratopses, and they go back to home, chat. And, Fred, Ebenezer, he's looking at this. He's like, I love that girl so much. I loved her so dearly. She was my heart. And then, Wilma's just like, yeah, but, she passed away. She did. And I promised myself I would never love again. She died in childbirth, and I will never forgive that son of a bitch nephew of mine. It's like, Jesus Christ, a lot of resentment's built up, Chet. A lot of resentment's built up. And she's like, let me show you another chapter in your past. He's like, please, Spirit, no, my heart cannot take it physically. Seriously, I'm having a heart attack because he's too fat. And she takes him, chat, to when he is an apprentice to Fezziwig. He's like, I remember Fezziwig. Great guy, great wig. They have Barney playing Fezziwig since the actor is dead. He died off screen, chat, because of the bedrock flu. And so he's plays like, be merry, everyone, be merry. And everyone's having a great goddamn time, chat. And then we see, I don't know how they fuck, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. So the play is happening at the same time, chat. And they don't have like another actor to play a young, like Ebenezer. It's just Fred going back and forth. And I don't know how that happened. It's just weird, but it's very much Fred. They don't have like a guy in a Fred Flintstone costume, chat. They just have the actors going back and forth. It's like, this doesn't make any goddamn sense at all. But anyway, we continue watching. And we see the young Ebenezer Scrooge, chat, sitting in a corner. And, he denied himself love, chat, after the death of his sister, after she died on the birthing bed, chat, and her own fluids. It was terrible. But then, chat, who fucking walks up? And you're thinking, oh, it's going to be Maggie, chat. But during this time, when this is all going on, off stage, Betty is whispering to Wilma as the ghost of Christmas past. And Wilma's like, what's going on? What's going on? It's Maggie. She's dead. And she's like, what? She also got the bedrock flu, chat. She got the bedrock flu. They go to her fucking dressing room, chat. And you remember this very curvaceous, blonde bombshell, chat. Her throat is like, looks like a goddamn George Lucas frog throat, chat. And she has snot coming out of her goddamn nose. And she's cross-eyed and she's dead. And they're like, shit, how are we going to do this? And they're like, Wilma, you gotta play the role of Belle, Ebenezer's fiance. She's like, oh no. She's like, you gotta do it to save the place. She's like, fuck, fine. And so she dresses up as Belle. And when she comes back, all she does in this scene is just beat the shit out of Fred. As they're dancing, she's just throwing him around the room and going, ah! He's like, ah! It's wonderful, wonderful. Man, she's strong as hell, thick and strong. I love it. And he's getting his ass kicked, chat. But despite this, he falls in love with her, chat, and years later proposes to her. He is like, when I'm a rich man, I will give you the wedding that you deserve. But of course, many years go by, chat. And Ebenezer becomes more and more obsessed about his business dealings, chat, and his greed and money and material gains until Belle, it's like been nearly 10 years. And she's like, Ebenezer, I've waited for you for all time. I would love to just get married, but, and he's like, well, we could do it today. She's like, I just have one question to ask you. You said you wanted to do it today. You said that before many, many times since then. But what do you care more about? Your money or me? What do you desire most? And answer me truthfully. He's like, yeah, bitch, I want my money. And she's like, fucking I hate you so much. And she leaves. You're like, you're so selfish. You're selfish. You don't care about your wife or the baby that she birthed in front of you. And she's like, oh, that was a little personal there. He's like, oh shit, Wilma, you okay? She's like, don't touch me. And she leaves. And then it's end of Act 2, chat. And that's true. The honeymoon is very PC. Yeah. And so he's like, it's end of Act 2, chat. And he goes to check on Wilma because he's like, I think there might be something wrong. No shit, Fred. And he goes there, chat. And then we just hear Wilma crying in her dressing room. Just, oh, my marriage is over. And he's like, oh, no, Wilma. And Betty's like, she does not want to see you right now. He's like, but, no fucking buts. Park your keys, you're somewhere else, okay? I gotta help her, all right? And she goes back inside. He's like, oh, Jesus, God. Oh, no, how can I make this up to her? I know, material things. If I just give her stuff, she'll fall in love with me. And so he has this crazy plan. This is when the movie's like, okay, we don't give a shit anymore. We're going to go nuts. And his plan, even though we learned earlier, chat, that the little kid who works at the gift wrapping station in the mall says, don't worry, Mr. Flintstone, I'm going to bring your presents by to you in the morning for Christmas Day so you can put them under the tree. He says, fuck that. I am just going to go to the mall and steal the gifts that are there. So Fred... It's 10 minutes before the next curtain call, chat. 10 minutes before the next one, before the play starts again, the final and third act. And he fucking drives to the mall, runs to the goddamn mall, chat, via his little car, and he parks right outside there, chat, and he breaks into the mall, chat, and he's not subtle about it, chat. Fred's a big man. He makes a lot of goddamn noise, sets off the silent alarm, chat, which is a bird going, that motherfucker did it, and he takes off, chat. It's like, this motherfucker did it. It's not sound at all. And he goes and warns the popo, chat, the police. And Fred, he goes to the specific store, chat. He's like, where'd that little shit put the goddamn gifts? He fucking stole them. I should have known. He's like, no, he's probably just taking them to you right now, you idiot. And then, chat, all of a sudden, he starts to hear all this weird shit, chat. The sudden gust of wind enters the stores. And this man in a white cloak, chat, he goes, oh my God, the Klan, no. And there's like, please. It looks like the ghost of Christmas yet to come, chat. The ghost of Christmas future. He's like, please don't take me. I'm sorry, Spirit. I realize I've been selfish. I'm so selfish. I should love my wife more and my daughter and appreciate my friends. And the ghost like shines this light. He's like, no, don't take me. No, I'm too young and beautiful. But then she goes, Fred? And the guy takes his hood off, chat, and it's just a security guard. It's just a security guard. He goes, oh my God. And I don't know if this character is a recurring character in the Flintstones, chat. It's I guess it's a police officer. Also, I think this is the first time that at least I remember, chat. There might have been other characters in Flintstones, but there's a black Flintstones character. I don't remember I'm going to look up this character's name. I'm not too familiar with him. Let's see here, chat. I'm gonna look this character. Charles Brickens. No, not Charles Brickens. Oh, that's the name of Charles Dickens. Chat, Charles Brickens. That's very funny. Let's see who it is. Yeah, I don't know, chat. I really don't. I don't know, but it's the first that I recall black. Oh, John Rhys Davis is in this film. I didn't know that. He plays the narrator, Charles Brickens. That's crazy. But no, it's the first black Flintstones character I've ever seen. There might have been other ones, but I just can't recall, chat. I imagine since these were more recent, you started to see more people of color appear in some of these special shows. This is the first, like, oh wow, I just because they're all white. They're always all white, especially in the original 60s and 70s era of the show. This is the first time. And so this guy, he's like, you're under arrest. He's like, no, please, I'm sorry. And like, let me explain to you, officer. And he explains everything to him, chat. And the officer goes like, oh, well, okay. You just broke and entering so you could take these gifts and give them to your wife you don't care about. You know what, Fred? I'm gonna go ahead and let you off with this one with a warning. It's like bullshit. Fucking white people. Why is this guy let him off, chat? It's bullshit. Oh, terrible. And so He drops him off. He also drops him off back at the goddamn playhouse, chat, the town hall. It's bullshit. And he goes in there, chat, and he goes back to the bed, man, just right there at the last second. And, like, Wilma's, like, really pissed off, and he's like, where the fuck were you, Fred? You're signing autographs to your adoring crowd? He's like, no, Wilma, I've learned so much tonight. I've learned so much, and I appreciate, like, shut the fuck up and get your fat ass back in the bed. He's like, okay, ma'am. And he goes back in the bed, chat. And then he is visited by the ghost of Christmas present, chat, of course. It's this giant ghost, chat. He's always stuffing his face filled with food. And Fred's like, I would like some food, please. And the giant's like, no, you're too fucking fat, and I only live for one goddamn day. So I'm going to be as gluttonous and lecherous and lustful as I want. I'm going to participate in every single vice that I can. But you got to see the shit that you have been blind to, Mr. Flintstone. I mean, Mr. Scrooge. Takes him, Chad, and shows him around the goddamn place. Takes him to the home of his nephew, Chat Ned, the nephew who he blames for the death of his sister, Chat, on the birthing bed. And Ned and his wife, they're having a grand old time, Chat, playing charades and everything. And they act this whole thing out, and they're like, "Oh, you're Ebenezer Scrooge, a miserly, miserable old man." He goes, "Look at them, they're talking about me." He goes, "Yeah, you're a great guy." And then he takes him to the home, Chat. The home of Bob Craggett. He's like, where the hell are we? And it's like, this is the home of your clerk. And he goes, yeah, Bob Craggett. Now let's see how the family is and see how much they appreciate me and what I do for them during the holidays. Goes to the door, chat. We see Betty, of course, is playing Mrs. Craggett. Pebbles is playing one of their children, chat. And Bamm-Bamm, he's playing little tiny Tim, chat. How appropriate. They're fucking having a meal, chat. It's very, very small, dodo, which I thought was funny. It's like, oh, it's a dodo. Oh, that's great. It's extinct, and it's very small. And he's like, why is their meal so small? Even that wouldn't be enough for me. And they're like, well, because of what you pay them, they can barely afford anything and barely able to get by. And, he also sees little tiny Tim, chat. He's like, why is Tiny Tim so small? Why is he so frail and emaciated? Because he's sick, you idiot. Because he's not eating enough. They don't have access to medicine because of your lack of a salary for Mr. Bob Craggett. He goes, oh, I feel horrible. And, of course, Bob Craggett, despite everything, he's like, let's raise, we've said cheers to many individuals this year. I want to have the last one be for Ebenezer Scrooge. And Betty's like, fuck that. You ain't doing that for your Fred. No, not for, Ebenezer. All right. And he's like, Betty, please. Mrs. Craggett, please. And she's like, all right, fine. Even though he's an asshole and he mistreats his wife and his child, she points at her. And he's like, I will a Merry Christmas to him and to a Happy New Year and much health and all that other jazz and shit. And she downs. He's like, oh, Jesus, Betty. I love that I love that fire. And she's like, shut up, Barney. He's like, okay. And he's like, spirit, my heart cannot take it. Please show me no more. Show me no more. He's like, don't worry, my time is done. I have the fucking lifespan of a goddamn fruit fly. 24 hours until I'm like resurrected or reincarnated. It's weird. So he takes him back home, chat. And then, of course, he is visited by the ghost of Christmas yet to come, Chad. The ghost of Christmas future, man of an entity of many names. And this one's like, it's not being around the fucking bush. It's like, all right, Scrooge, here, I'm going to show you what's going to be the result of you. And they go to an auctioneer's office, Chad, where all of Scrooge's belongings are being auctioned off to all these random people. And they're all saying really mean things about him, how he's a piece of shit, which he is. And he's like, who could they be talking about? Wait a minute, that's my favorite pair of socks. Oh, my God. Those are my saber-toothed slippers. And he goes, it's not just your fate, Scrooge. And he takes him to the graveyard, chat. Takes him to the graveyard where he sees Bob Craggett, chat, and Betty Craggett and little Pebbles, chat, and they see the grave of Bamm-Bamm, chat, little tiny Tim, and he goes, oh my God, oh no, it's terrible. Spirit, tell me, can it change? Can I change any of this? And he's like, only you can change fate, Scrooge, but you seemed, because of your poor choices, your fate seemingly seems sealed. Oh, Edgy Berserker, witness me. Edgy Berserker, thank you so much for the very kind raid. Welcome to stream. Just in the middle of my review for a Flintstones Christmas Carol. Almost done at the final act right now. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. What were you playing? What were you doing? I'm very, very curious. Cheers and salute you to a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Much like Betty raised one for Fred Flintstone. Witness Dennis. No, hope you're doing very well, Edgy Berserker. Good to see you. Oh, Lord. No, I'm almost done. You know what? I'll find out what you're doing in just a second. I'm almost done with this review. So, he's like, Spirit, can I change anything? It's like, because of your poor choices and misdeeds and misery dealings, Flintstone. I mean, Scrooge. You have already written your fate. And he shows him the icy grave of Ebenezer Scrooge. He's like, Spirit, no, please, I've learned my lesson. Please, I can change. He's like, you can change. He's like, yes, I'll prove it to you. I'll change. And then he wakes up in his bed. He goes, oh, it was a dream. Oh my God. A dream. There's so much I must do. So much I must change. And it's typical. He fucking opens the window. He's like, you scrawny little boy. He goes, ah! And he goes, bye. He fucking runs down there. He's like, you. He's like, don't hurt me. And he's like, buy me the biggest turkey you can find. The biggest Turkosaurus you can have that is imaginable. He's like, okay, just don't hurt me. He's like, yes, and take this money. Take this money and buy it. And you go there to the butcher shop, chat, buys all these different things, all these cheeses and vegetables and sides and accoutrements, chat, and the biggest Turkosaurus you can imagine. He's like, take that to my nephew, and take that Turkosaurus to my Bob Craggett's house. And good old fucking Ebenezer, he goes to his nephew's house, and he's like, celebrating with him and everything like that. And he's like, but there's one thing I must do. You got a lovely wife. She's got a big tookus. Good for you, man. That's great. Gotta love them curves. He's like, I must do one more thing. And he goes to the home of Bob Craig. He knocks on the door, acting like typical Scrooge fashion. And, he's like, oh, Mr. Scrooge, I didn't expect you here. He's like, yes, Craggett. Oh, don't leave my base. He imagined he was going to die along with him, taking everything. That's it. It's true. He has his own fucking imagery. He's like, oh, no, I can't let it happen. No, please, God. And so he goes there, and he does the whole Scrooge thing, but, little tiny Tim, little Bamm-Bamm sees through the facade, and he brings all these wonderful gifts to Bob Cragg and his wife, and they all walk, they're all walking out, chat, but then he notices something, chat. Wilma, she's dressed up as another individual, chat, as a police officer, for the play, because all the other extras are sick now. They're all dead, chat. They're all swollen and filled with all sorts of toxins and mucus, chat. And she sees her, and he changes the fucking play because he pretends that is Belle, his long lost love. And he goes, Belle, my God. And then the fucking Charles Brickenshaw's like, this isn't my fucking book, and he's like, Belle, please forgive me. And Wilma's like, what are you doing? He's like, let's change it up a little bit. I want to say something. I want to say something to all of you. And he says he basically tells the entire members of the play, he's like, you guys have put on an incredible show. You have shown such great effort. And I failed you. I was not who I should have been. I was not as supportive of whether it be of my wife to be, of my friends. I truly was a Scrooge, but I have learned so much through a traumatic experience and also a run-in with the law that no one should break into a mall at Christmas Eve or blame children for their miscalculations. And they're like, okay. And they're like, yeah, Merry Christmas to all. And Tiny Tim's just like, God bless us, everyone. It's like, nailed it, Bamm-Bamm. JT, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the subscription. Wow, 28 months, man. It's the Ghost of Flintstones Insanity. Pretty much is. And then everyone goes up. Everyone just fucking stands up and applauds. Like, this is the best adaptation of Charles Dickens' original novel ever, which is not true, Chad. It's a Muppet's Christmas Carol, then Mickey's Christmas Carol, then Flintstones. Third best, but I'll allow it, Chad. They didn't know, obviously. Everyone's like, woo! Everyone's happy and shit. Then Wilma, she's still pissed off at Fred's like, yeah, look at that, Fred. You had the performance of the lifetime. But then all of a sudden, Chad, they see Wilma. She's kind of in the center of the stage. They're like, woo, Wilma, you're the best. Because she played all the different roles, Chad. And she was showcased her talent. And so she gets all the flowers and bouquets and everything that, Fred would have probably gotten for his performance of Scrooge. And she gets like, oh, thank you so much. Everyone loves her. And, Fred's just like, Wilma, please. I really spoke from the heart. I'm sorry. I wasn't there for you. I wasn't there for Pebbles. I wasn't there for you, Bon, or you, Betty, or anyone else. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do this. through this play and through my traumatic experiences, I learned something today that I should appreciate what I have in my family and I should adhere to my responsibilities. She's like, oh, Fred. You know, she forgives him, chat. And all of a sudden, chat, the little kid from the mall comes by. He's like, oh, Mr. Flintstone. And he goes, you! He goes, I have your gifts, sir. I was going to bring them by your home this evening before I left to go see my own family, but I realized that the play was going on, so here you go. And he's like, thanks, I'm gonna give you a big tip. He's like, really? Nah, I ain't paying you shit. And he's like, fuck you, Flintstone. He walks away. And he's, here you go, Wilma. And she's like, wow, Fred, look at that. Did you just buy this last minute? He goes, maybe. And she goes, oh, geez. Well, at least you bought him anyway. He goes, oh, Wilma, achoo. And he starts sneezing, shit, and he goes, oh, I don't feel good. And suddenly, Chad, his fucking throat swells up. He's like, oh, no. He has the bedrock flu, Chad. She goes, oh, looks like you came out down with the bedrock flu, Fred. He's like, no. Oh, Jesus, God. And he starts vomiting. I'm not joking. He literally starts fucking vomiting. And it's like, oh, it's okay, Fred. I'll do the driving to my mother's house tomorrow. He's like, to your mother's? And that, my friends, that is a Flintstones Christmas Carol, chat. The third best adaptation of Charles Dickens, or in this case, Charles Bricken's original novella. I hope you enjoyed it. Something you got the Rona. No, this message is like, don't fucking have plays in the middle of a pandemic when everyone's sitting elbow to elbow or interact with each other on stage making physical contact, okay? That's why I want to do this movie today, chat, because it serves as a lesson. It serves as a lesson, chat, so we should take pandemics and plagues seriously. Boo that pun, but good review. That's the pun. That's the name of the character. His name is Charles Brickens. I'm not kidding. Too much Taco Tuesdays. Oh yeah, but no, I would give it a no. It's fun, chat. It's a matinee. This is good for kids. If you want to sit them down for an hour and want to watch something for like an hour and 10 minutes, can't go wrong with a Flintstones Christmas Carol, chat. It's a fun film. Dark thing with the 5 minutes. She's not going to her mother. She's going to her boyfriend, whom she's literally forever. Yeah, you're gonna go with Ned. Gonna go with nephew Ned. Goddamn right. She should treat herself, chat. She should treat herself. Wilma was the MVP in this movie, chat. No question about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the review, chat. I'm going to take the Elite. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing very well. Good to see you. No, who else is may stop? I don't want to miss anyone. Mr. Slay. Yes. I gotta finally make my move on Wilma. yes. Goddamn right. Oh, he wants Rona. He got the big Roni. Mm-hmm. Oh, we've seen those wrestling specials for the Flintstones. Oh, that's right. They did wrestling specials. So many. It's crazy. So many, chat. Whether the Flintstones take on the Sopranos next. I would love that. We need that. People were joking about the Muppet finally doing The Great Gatsby since now it's in the public domain. That would be hilarious. 5 out of 5 broken marriages. Oh, it's broken, Chad. He fucks it up every other week with Wilma. How can he chat with a woman like that? What a fool, Chad. Terrible. But no, it made for a fun movie, Chad. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. I'm going to take a brief break, Chad, to refill my beverage. And I'm going to come back and do some reviews for Courage the Cowardly Dog, Chad. Episode 3, Courage meets Bigfoot and Hothead, Chad. Stick around. Entertain yourselves amongst yourselves.